That was pretty fun.
You like that?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If I were to take a balloon and squeeze it, it might pop because there'd be so much pressure inside.
Oh yeah, and it'd be kind of loud too, you know?
But are you absolutely sure that pressure was the reason why I had troubles with the door?
Oh yes, I'm positive. Haven't you seen enough yet?
Well, if there's more to see, I wouldn't mind.
Okay, well, let's go see another demonstration, and I assure you, it'll blow your mind. Hi.
Hi, I'm Sid Nagel. Welcome to the University of Chicago.
Thank you. Here.
Hi, I'm Heinrich Jäger.
Hi, I'm Mike. I see you guys got a great experiment.
We absolutely do.
All right,
One of our favorite.
Let's check it out. How do we get her started?
Well, so this is a vacuum bazooka. So we have a regular ping pong ball right here. That gets put in the back right there, and then we put aluminum foil over here. So that thing gets pushed over here.
Okay, so let's turn it on. That is so quiet. Doesn't sound like that when I vacuum my house.
Absolutely.
All right. So we have this is on. So what's it doing?
Okay, so it is pulling a vacuum right here, so it's sucking the air out essentially.
Okay.
And then we have this long tube right here, which is currently filled with air still.
Okay.
But it is closed up here.
And at this side?
And that side with aluminum foil.
All
so
right.
a very thin membrane of aluminum foil. And
so we have a gauge over there. What's that gauge for?
That gauge is going to tell us what the air pressure is inside the tube.
All
and
right.
outside the tube, you know, it's the atmosphere that we're
regular, normal, ambient
That's right.
air pressure. Okay.
And so that gives a big difference in the air pressure from the inside to the outside, which is around 15 pounds per square inch.
Okay.
So if you have 1 square inch, it'll be 15 pounds.
15 pounds
pressure
on that square
on that
inch.
one.
That's exciting.
So I have a pipe right here. I need an object to break through the aluminum foil right at the end, and so I'll use that pipe. And what you want to do is you want to focus on what happens right over there. Okay, so let me close this valve first, which is closed now. And I'm puncturing it right now, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God. You said it would hit it. You didn't say it was going to go through.
Well, it wouldn't be fun if it didn't go through.
That's true.
And let's pull it out. Let's take it out.
It's not fun if we're not breaking stuff.
Absolutely.
So we've been learning a lot about the properties of gases, but now let's see what kind of gases we monitor and how. Hi, I'm Mike.
I'm Marta. Nice to meet you. I'm from the United States Environmental Protection Agency here in Region 5.
Oh.
Welcome to one of our sites here in Chicago. This site is operated by Cook County.
Thanks. So what is this site monitoring?
It's monitoring pollution that's in the air.
Pollution in the air. Cool. We learned a lot about gases. So let's see. How does it work? What do you monitor for?
We monitor for several criteria pollutants here.
Okay.
In 1970, the Clean Air Act was established, and it requires EPA to monitor for 6 criteria pollutants.
Okay. What are those?
And those are ozone,
okay.
particulate matter, CO, NOx, SO2, and lead.
Wow, all those are in our air?
All those are in our air.
Hopefully in very small amounts, right?
Depends which area you live in.
Okay, so what does this guy here monitor?
This is an ozone monitor.
Ozone, okay. So, but wait a minute, I thought ozone was a good thing in our atmosphere.
It is when it's up in the stratosphere. When it's up in the stratosphere, it protects us from the sun's harmful rays.
Ah, but when it's down here closer to where we breathe?
It can cause some trouble for some people, especially for sensitive populations.
Yeah?
Such as children, the elderly, and those suffering from asthma.
Does it make it hard to breathe?
It does.
Okay. I've also heard it's a really strong oxidant, like it'll cause other things to crack.
It will.
And how's it been this year?
This year it's been pretty low. The ozone levels that we've been seeing have been pretty low.
Wow. So how does it work? It looks like gases come in through this pipe?
Correct. There's a sample inlet on the top of the roof, and that pulls in the air. The air comes through the tubes, and then each individual sampler pulls in the air.
Okay, so it looks like you're sampling for lots of different things here.
Right, lots of different gases here.
And I think I passed up this one. This guy here monitors...
That guy there monitors SO2.
Sulfur dioxide.
Yes.
Okay, and then what about some of the ones on the end there?
That is another SO2 analyzer that we have.
Okay, so you guys do an awful lot of monitoring. What if people in the area wanted to get some of this information? How could they do it?
There's a website that people can go to look at the data in their area. It's called airnow.gov.
I imagine there are some things we do on a daily basis that maybe contribute to these things going into the air. What would some of those things be?
For example, when we monitor for ozone, the EPA takes the numbers that are being monitored and it reports it to the public through a method called the Air Quality Index. And that's a way where through words, through colors, and through numbers, we tell the population what the air quality is like outside. And so the scale starts from green, which is clear, all the way through maroon. And when you look at the Air Quality Index, when you see that the levels are starting to get high, especially for ozone, you can take steps such as don't drive when it's during the middle of the day when it's very hot, don't mow the lawn when it's very hot, carpool, and especially for people that are affected by the high ozone, stay inside during that time.
So we want to try and conserve things like fuels and make sure that we're not spending too much energy around those times?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty good. Those are those ozone action days I think I hear about?
Exactly.
Very cool. And the two other gases you mentioned, nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide, why are those dangerous?
At high levels, they can also cause problems with breathing and with lung function.
Well, thank you very much. This has been really good.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So can you feel it now?
The pressure?
Yeah, air pressure can push balls through tubes and crush cans.
Force liquid through tubes?
And don't forget,
make it harder to open doors.
Do you know why?
Yes, because when the pressure is higher on one side and lower on the other, then I have to push that much harder to open the door.
I think you've got it.
I do. And I know that it's just pushing and pulling
because science doesn't suck.
So you're gonna fix my door?
No, but I'm sure you knew that when we made the bet, didn't you?
Yeah, pressure makes it tough for everyone to open that door. That sucks, doesn't it?
No, science never sucks. It only pushes.
Sure. See you tomorrow.